Hello, welcome to Postcolonial Space. I'm Masood Raja, and today I'll briefly talk about one term that someone had asked me about and its implications for research writing, and that was to problematize. So the question posted to me was, what does it mean and how to understand it within the context of humanistic research, but also social sciences research. So problematization, simply stated, is not about making things complicated or controversial. When you're trying to problematize a concept or a given piece of research, what you are attempting to do is going deeper into that research, let's say anyone else's work, and pointing out that there are certain things that were either misconstrued or could be elaborated differently. So that means what you are saying is, I am going to problematize this established work of research by adding to it or revisiting some of its assumptions and writing about them differently or researching about them differently. Now, we often do that in scholarly writing in humanities without even using the term. So, for example, you all might be aware of Gayatri Spivak's famous essay, Can the Subaltern Speak? Right? I have extensive videos on that which you can watch. Now, when some of the people went and challenged her assumptions in the essay, for example, Can the Subaltern Vote is an essay about that. That was that scholar problematizing what Spivak's assumptions were and also what her conclusions were. Similarly, if you would like to apply it to, let's say, reading or studying of a novel, you could very easily go into, let's say, one of my own essays about River of Fire, Kuratala Haidar's River of Fire. And so you could go in and say, the purpose of my project is to problematize the assumptions made by Masood Raja in his essay on the River of Fire. And then you can offer your rereading of the novel, which kind of either counters my argument or builds on it, right? So to problematize, by and large, is always about responding to either established research or published research, or responding to a certain general or specific understanding of a topic or a text. And your intent there is to go and, if not challenge, then reread how someone else had reached certain conclusions about a topic, and you're problematizing it by suggesting other ways of doing that too. So in so many ways, you are augmenting the previous research and sometimes challenging it. But it doesn't necessarily mean simply a polemical response where problematization is seen as just dismantling something without creating something new. Now, how to use it in your dissertation or in your thesis, it will depend upon which method you're following. If you are writing in the social sciences format, then you will start with, this is what I'm trying to problematize, and then you will even articulate a problem statement, right? Something that you're trying to unpack or prove. And then that would become the guiding idea for your research. In humanities, let's say literary studies, since we don't write like social scientists, an act of problematization or a practice of problematization would always be what I just explained. That would be rereading someone else's reading of a text or a poem or a novel, and then suggesting that there are either better ways of doing it or different ways of doing it. By doing that, you have problematized what existed about a given text or a novel or a poem or a play, and you have problematized it by adding more dimensions to it, or even sometimes by going deeper into someone else's research and pointing out the problematic aspects of it, and then taking them and building a new way of looking at the text that way. So keep these things in mind. Just remember that it's not problematizing isn't just, oh, here is what is wrong with this paper and here is what is wrong with this paper. No, it is finding out what is missing, what is misconstrued, what is not well informed, and then problematizing it by suggesting a different mode of reading, by adding different information, and by building up on the previous research that existed. That's all. I hope this answers the question, and I do encourage you to explore further, especially in the methodological aspects of it in social sciences. But, under the circumstances, this is the best I have. Thank you so much. Please comment if you have any suggestions or ideas. And as always, do send me your queries and questions. And, if you feel like it, do subscribe to the channel and support the channel. Thank you so much. And as always, from me to you, peace and love.